Good morning, everybody. It's Women in Bitcoin and Tracy Lewin.
And Mervanwe Smith. Good morning, Tracy. Good morning, viewers.
How are you doing, Merv? Today is a good day, once again, in Bitcoin.
When are we never happy with Bitcoin, Tracy?
Yeah, absolutely.
And today is extra special. We have Peter Marais with us again today. He spoke to us last week on investing. And we've got him here today to speak to us about something that is his background, actually, which is in trading. And so how are you this morning, Peter?
Good morning, Mervanwe. I'm very, very well, thank you. Very excited about what's happening in the markets. And yeah, I'm glad to be able to talk to you. Thanks for inviting me back.
You're always a pleasure to have on the show. Peter, can we just get on with our very first question, which is, what is trading actually? Because if I just buy and sell on a personal basis, is that trading?
Well, let me answer that question, because there's a big misconception amongst people what trading is, and how to make money with trading is obviously the reason why they're interested in it. Trading, if you look at the definition, is really that: is buying something and then selling it at a later stage. A trader usually obviously wants to sell these goods at a profit. So if you are, say for instance, you are a normal business person, you've got a shop, you're going to go and you're going to buy stock from a wholesaler, you're going to put it in your shop, and people are going to buy it at a higher price than you purchased it for, but they're going to buy it either in a smaller quantity, or it's going to be more convenient for them, or whatever, and your trading price, your sales price, will be higher than your buy price, because you're bringing it closer to the customer, or you are actually adding some value by providing later hours or something like that, like a convenience store. Now, somehow people got mixed up in the markets, and they've got confused about the difference between trading and speculation. And most people, when they talk about trading, they're talking about speculation. Now, speculation in the financial markets is when you're trying to buy something on an exchange or from somebody with the hope that the price will go up, and then sell it very quickly at a higher price. Now, there's a lot of people that are trying to make money with speculation, but really it's just a glorified form of gambling. So that is really the difference between a real trader and a speculator, is that the trader, in some area of how he does his transaction, adds some value, whereas the speculator just hopes and prays that the price will go up.
Yeah, thank you very much for that, Peter. That kind of explains everything, I must say. So how can I actually make money with trading? Can I make money with trading?
I'm glad.
Sorry, Peter, could you repeat that?
Tracy, that's what
Sorry, Peter.
I'm not sure if you can hear me. I can hear you guys.
Well, we can hear you now. So you just have to repeat that last bit.
I actually didn't say anything. I just repeated your question. To make money out of trading, you've got to find some kind of an advantage, and that advantage is usually what's in trading terms is called an arbitrage. What that means is that you actually find the discrepancy in price, either because of location or because of an exchange rate, or some type of an advantage that you can create to make a profit. So for instance, you can buy something in bulk. Say for instance, you're trading bitcoins and you are able to buy a large amount. You can then sell them off in small chunks at a higher price to people that want, to the public that would be willing to pay maybe a higher price because they want smaller amounts of Bitcoin. That would be one way. Another way would be to actually buy in different locations and then take it close to people. That's what most people do on a platform called Local Bitcoins. They would buy on the international exchanges and then sell it to people that are not able to buy on those exchanges and then make a profit because those local people don't have any other way to find product. Did you guys hear that?
Yes, we did. Thanks, Peter. That's great. Yeah, so I think, you covered the whole thing of, people speculating, thinking it's trading, and then also now that if you do it correctly and professionally, you can really make some money. I've often seen charts that almost look like candles with wicks in. Those funny charts that you get for trading. And especially I've seen it with Bitcoins. Now, do I have to understand those before I can be a trader?
No, but a trader doesn't have to have charts. What a trader needs is difference between his selling price and his buying price. And also, a trader needs to understand where his advantage lies. For instance, if you are a wheat trader and you can go buy wheat at a farm, and you can actually then transport that wheat to a mill. That means you won't necessarily make money on the wheat price, but you can make money on the transport price because you might have a way to get cheaper transport than the next trader. That means you've got a trading profit is a guaranteed profit between the selling price and the buying price. A speculation profit is where you buy and you're hoping the price will go higher. And again, I take a lot of exception against people calling themselves traders, but actually they're gamblers. Now, what you're talking about when you're talking about candlesticks, you're talking about these were invented by the Japanese rice speculators, which the Japanese had the first forward and futures exchanges, and they invented these candlesticks. And these are the tools of the roulette players of the market. They sit and they use these candlesticks with all kinds of fancy software trying to predict the price movement of the markets. Just to give you guys some form of realism, every single big bank have trading rooms filled with traders that all run these candlesticks programs, and a lot of the Bitcoin traders or the Bitcoin speculators that are speculating on Bitcoin and are speculating on the exchanges are also using this software. These guys have been doing this for years and years, and you as an individual trying to start this and competing with them with limited capital really have no chance. And it's not a game that I would actually advise any to, whether they see themselves as a professional or just especially if you
Peter, can you hear us?
I can see him on the screen, but I can't hear him.
I'm talking here. Hello, 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 hello.
Hello.
Now we can hear you.
Yeah.
How much did you actually hear of that?
Well, just about it all.
Okay.
So you're saying, Peter, that basically the average Joe like myself or like Tracy, we're not into that kind of trading, and it's not something that you would recommend.
I mean, you're talking to the wrong person here if you're asking me about candlesticks and all kinds of fancy computer programs to make money with, because what I'm saying is that even the guys in the financial markets, 98% of all financial advisors and financial speculators underperform the market. And the reason is because they believe in all of these kinds of actual nonsense, like Japanese candlesticks, and the whole financial fraternity will probably sit up straight. But I still need somebody to prove to me that this actually works. It's not working. It's a gambler's tool. Speculation doesn't work. The banks that all use this and are making money from their trading rooms are actually, it's been proven over and over, they're making money from their customer base. So if you think you're going to, buy a computer program and that program is somehow going to predict, or you're going to have a charting system that's going to predict price movement, you're in for a very, very rude awakening. That's what I'm trying to say. The candlesticks are very interesting. There are many books written about it. I can give you guys names of books that you guys can go and read. But really, if you're asking me, should the normal person get involved with it, and it's something you can make money with it, I would say unqualified no. If you want to trade, you need to find some kind of an advantage where you can make money with an arbitrage, which is a guaranteed profit between your buying price and your selling price.
Well, that's very interesting, Peter. Thanks for that, because I think there's a lot of people out there that, are interested in getting into trading, but they just don't know how. And clearly, you need to, there's lots of guys sitting there with the charts and really, really qualified people, kind of trying to understand what the markets are going to do. But in terms of reading the markets, let's say if somebody was a speculator, what are the kind of things that would make you decide when to sell, when to buy, that type of thing?
I think as a speculator, you've got to have a gambler's instinct. That is, speculating can be very addictive, and I've also done it because it is exciting. But the thing is, it is very, very difficult to make money consistently while speculating. But really, what you need to do is you need to understand that markets overreact to the upside and they overreact to the downside. So you really need to buy when everybody's selling and sell when everybody's buying. And that's very difficult to do emotionally, and also to really decide when, that is happening. But the tools of the speculator are, these type of charts, because what you can do with the candlestick charts, there's certain ways you can actually now say, okay, the market's overreacted to the downside. We believe that the market is now going to go up, and create some kind of an indicator of psychology that you can use for your speculation. That's the one thing. But the main thing is, if you're going to speculate, the biggest thing about speculation is not predicting the price. It's the management of your capital, to make sure that the big thing about a gambler or a speculator is he's got to live to fight another day. So you don't go all in on every trade. So you've got to have a capital management system, knowing exactly how much money are you putting at risk on every single transaction or trade that you are entering, and what are your levels that you're going to say, okay, this was a mistake, I'm going to get out, take my loss, and live to fight another day. And usually, as a rule of thumb, you wouldn't put up more than 1 or 2% of your capital on one single transaction, because you're going to be wrong many, many times.
Yeah, that's there's definitely a whole lot to trading that we have to sort of get under our belt, that's for sure. So we've seen all these wonderful pictures of bulls and bears. Could you explain it for us?
Well, there's many definitions that guys use to say when the market is in a bull run or the market's in a bear run, but really what it means in layman's terms is when the market is in an upward trend and it's sustaining upward momentum, it's called a bull run or a bull market. And when the market is in a downward trend and the momentum starts moving downward, it is in what we call a bear market. So a bull market is really a positive market, and a bear market is a negative market in terms of price movement.
Okay, so we've actually seen quite a bit of this up and down recently. I must say it's quite exciting to watch, and certainly the adrenaline flows when it's a bull market and the price goes up. But now, what platforms are available if I wanted to trade, and do I actually need a license for this?
Actual fact, you don't need a license at all. If you're trading for your own account, in other words, if you're buying and selling anything for your own account, you don't need a license. Whether you're buying shares, whether you're buying commodities, or whether you're buying Bitcoin, you never need a license to trade for your own account, because you're really investing on your own behalf. The only time that you would need a license or being regulated is when you are acting on behalf of somebody else, or when you're running a business that involves clients. So that's different. But if you're acting as principal meaning that you're not acting as an agent for somebody else or buying on their behalf, you don't need to be licensed, because you're just basically investing or speculating or gambling with your own money. There are many regulated Bitcoin exchanges now. The biggest one in the US is Bitfinex. And then, there's some very well-known ones that, the public use are Coinbase, Kraken. We can give a list of regulated exchanges. And I'm sure in whichever country you are, there are probably Bitcoin exchanges that are the main exchanges in that country. And Tracy, that I think it would be good for your viewers maybe to provide a list somewhere on your website or something of those exchanges.
Yes, we'll do.
Great. Peter, do you think that there's any merit in learning additional stuff where trading is concerned? We've seen a lot of ads going out, people doing the binary options and those courses and whatever. Do you think
well, yes, there's definitely it's very valuable to learn trading skills. What's not valuable is to learn gambling skills. So binary forex options, all this is, and again, go back to what I said in the beginning, the difference between trading and speculation. When you talk about trading binary options or any of those things, you're really talking about gambling your heart away. And those courses and those things that are being sold are totally useless. You're just wasting your money. It's much better taking that money and then rather learning the hard way yourself than getting a course from somebody else. None of those systems work. They are very close to scams. If there were really a system out there that you could go and learn, the banks and the big hedge funds and whoever would be all over them. They've been developing systems and software for years and years, and they've got billions to invest in systems. So it's not. A lot of people are making false promises that you can buy some kind of a software program and then would make profit by sitting and trading at home, and it sounds very wonderful. I challenge you to go find me the person that's actually making money doing that. That does not exist. Getting trading skills means that you actually forget about gambling and you start actually educating yourself on the markets, and especially on what price differentials between markets would be. So if I was again, let me take an example of a normal commodity trader, and we'll take that back into the Bitcoin world. If I wanted to start off as a wheat trader, I would go out and I would actually go find wheat farmers that are producing wheat. I would go ask them what their prices are they prepared to sell at. I would go to the local mill. I would find out what they would prepare to pay. I would go to a local transporter and I would find out what it would cost me to transport the wheat. And then I would actually then calculate whether I can make a profit by buying from the farmer, transporting it and selling to the mill, and also calculating my cost of capital, because I'm now financing that wheat while it's in my control from the time it's transported till the time it's delivered. That is a trade. That is not speculation. Now, going back to Bitcoin, what I would do is, and I mean, we do this, is we look at Bitcoin in different locations. So, for instance, we would say, okay, in a country like Brazil, or in a country like, for example, South Africa, local people are finding it difficult to find volumes of Bitcoin. The reason being is there's capital controls, there's all kinds of restrictions on how much they can buy, and also there's a huge cost of money transfer. So what I can do is, because I've got more capital and because I can set up a proper trading business, I can actually go and I can set up a company in Brazil. I can then, sell Bitcoins locally. And I can immediately cover my risk by using because I have an international business, I can set up my risk by buying into international exchanges. I can send the Bitcoin immediately to Brazil to anybody that buys it, and there's a price differential between the local price that the public would be paying in Brazil and the price that I would be paying on the international exchange, less all my costs and my whatever it cost me to do the transaction. And doing exactly the same calculation as the wheat trader, I can then make a guaranteed profit. That would be one way. Another way would be if I make an exchange trader, and it is to provide, is to actually, this is all different Bitcoin, but still today, um, exchanges, or if you can provide liquidity by being a market maker on an exchange, there are some profits to be made by providing volumes on the buy and the sell side, but you need a lot of capital for that, and you have a lot of competition. That's a little bit of a different um, uh, angle. But really, what is being sold to the public, again, is that you can make money by predicting the price. Unfortunately, that's not going to work.
Peter, you just went off a little bit. Well, I didn't hear it. Could you just repeat the first bit of the second option you spoke of?
The second option is where you do market making, where you actually become a market maker on an exchange, and you're providing volumes by bid and offer. But this is a very specialized area, not something that the public would be able to do. And it only really works when it will really start being popular when Bitcoin starts trading options and stuff on a regulated exchange. And we're not there yet.
Okay, great. So Peter, you know what? The one question that we have, Merv and I decided we have to have some tips from you. So give us some tips for Bitcoin traders, speculators out there.
Well, I mean, trading tips, I can't really give you, well, here's my tip for a trader. Make sure that you know that you do your calculations properly, and that you know the difference between your buy and your sell price. Because you're really looking, you have to look for an arbitrage profit. If you're a trader and you're serious, you will know what prices are everywhere. You will know location differentials, and you will know where Bitcoin are trading on different exchanges. And you will make sure that you are efficient in moving money and in moving your coins. That is how you make money as a trader. But I think what you're really asking me is, what is the tips for the gambler?
Why not?
All right. So if you want to gamble, first tip is don't gamble everything on one trade. You have a proper money management program. Don't put more than 2% of your capital into one transaction. If you are starting to say you buy Bitcoin and the prices start to rise, you have what they call a trailing stop. In other words, what you do is, say the price is at 500. You will tell yourself, okay, when the price drops 5% or 10%, I'm going to cut my losses and I'm going to get in as so you 500. That means your stop loss would be at 450. It's 10% of 500 is $15. So you have a $50 stop loss. But now the price goes up to 550. Now you move your stop loss to 500. So now if the market goes back to 500, you sell out and you've broken even. If the price goes up to 600, your stop loss moves to 550. So now you have a guaranteed profit, and then you just hold on to your coins. You don't do anything until your stop loss is triggered. But every new level you reach, you move your stop loss up. That's a good way of following a trend in a market. And the other thing is to look out for mass psychology, and when everybody's really down and dejected to buy, and when everybody's up and glorious and happy, and that's when you take profit. But really, as a gambler, you've got to understand that you have to, be realistic and be prepared to lose all your money, because everybody that I've met and that I've known that are professional gamblers have lost everything. So the guys that I met in Chicago that used to gamble on an exchange either went bankrupt or shot themselves or jumped out of a window.
Well, that's pretty gloomy.
That is pretty gloomy, but I'm not here to tell you guys, look, because I think the whole industry is just saying, oh yeah, just sign up as a Bitcoin trader and you can make a lot of money. Actually, just sign up as a Bitcoin trader and you can lose a lot of money. Trading is a discipline. Gambling or speculation is a mug's game. You do it for enjoyment, but don't do it because you think you're going to make money. But my tips are, if you're going to do this, be conservative in your money management. Look out for, positive or negative psychology, and follow the news. but also remember that markets are quite efficient. So, when news break, another thing that people do is they call what instance like exit from the European Union. Your traders
Sorry, Peter, we're missing that bit.
anticipate what's happening. So they would actually look at percent.
Peter, we actually missed that bit. If you can just repeat that.
Yeah, if you say that bit, from where did you miss?
From the European Union.
So guys are looking at the European Union, and your traders are already, as they've already anticipated what I think is going to happen. So when the news actually breaks, some people think, okay, if Britain leaves the European Union, the pound might fall. But in actual fact, it's the market anticipate this in advance. So that's usually you get the reverse reaction that people would expect. So it's
Well,
not always works that way, but the thing is, you've got to be contrarian if you want to be a good gambler.
Yeah, and I would imagine people are, they're sort of thinking about the Bitcoin halving that's coming up in July.
Yeah, and the market is already anticipating it. That's why the market is going up now. The guys don't wait till July before they start buying.
Yes. Peter, that was excellent. Absolutely excellent. I've learnt a lot. What do you think, Merv?
Fantastic, Peter. You are an invaluable source of wisdom for us. This is for sure. Thank you so much for your time.
Well, I just, I like I said, I don't want to sound negative about speculation, but people need to realize that it's hard to speculate, and that trading is actually a very different discipline, and and you can make a lot of money with it, but you have to know what you're doing, and a little bit of a duty to warn our public and warn our readers against all those things that are out there that are promising these spectacular returns. Things are never that easy. That's all. I just want to mention that. But saying that again, Bitcoin is a wonderful world, and you certainly won't be bored by trading or speculating. If you're looking for a thrill, then you've really come to the right place.
Yes, and you know what? If you look at the screen now, you see this bull pogo sticking over this bear. Of course, that's where we all like to be. However, in the markets, the bear actually also needs to have a job. So it's a bit of a balance.
You've got to remember, for every buyer, there's a seller. So for every, ultimately, exchange trading is a zero, or speculation is a zero-sum game. For every guy that made money, somebody lost money.
Yes.
Yeah, I keep saying this again and again. It's the first time I bought a coin. It cost 3,475. The local Bitcoin price this morning is 11,000. So, do we need to be that gambler or that speculator? For me, I don't think so.
Well, the thing is, this is the point I would say to the public. Look, if you look at the long-term fundamentals of Bitcoin, why not just become a Bitcoin investor?
Yes.
And because ultimately, in trading terms, over the short term, prices will go up and go down. But over the long term, your economic reality of Bitcoin is that you've got a dropping supply, you've got an inelastic supply curve, where supply is continuously going down, and you've got demand that's continuously going up. So logic would dictate that Bitcoin prices over time would keep on rising.
Yeah.
Well, the one thing we all agree that Bitcoin is a very, very exciting world to be in. So if anybody's listening out there and you're not in yet, you really, really do need to. So follow our YouTube channel. We'll put all the links in the at the bottom. If you want to get in touch with us, you can do that too. And we would love your trading questions, your comments, whatever you need to know. Just put it in the comments below, and we'll get right back to you. So is there anything else that you guys would like to add before we wind down?
No, not right now. It's been a wonderful session. I've learnt quite a bit, and one thing I know for sure is I'm very glad, Peter, that you're in our lives right now.
Thank you guys for
With all that
inviting.
wisdom and experience, you know, you protect us from making some pretty silly mistakes.
Thank you guys for inviting me, and I'm happy to talk to you at any time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks, everybody. Cheerio.
Till next week.
Bye.